Mina woke up from a deep sleep, and found herself locked in an impenetrable dark room. She was nervous and cried out for help, and hammered the wall with her arm as hard as she could, but no one helped her, and Mina realized that she had a glowing bracelet on her hand, and couldn't get it off, so she tried to borrow the wall to wear off the bracelet, but the wall was all broken, and the bracelet was still intact. Exhausted Mina hiding in the corner, but at this point, the wall behind them actually opened a hole, which is a long channel. Mina want to look for the exit will be directly drilled into, and so Mina went in after the partition closed again. There is no turning back. Mina can only crawl hard to the front, but suddenly an iron door in front of the pipeline slowly blocked. Mina, scared, can only accelerate the speed to the end of the place to find that next to a narrow passageway, Mina can only struggle to crawl into it. Here is simply claustrophobic paradise. After a period of time, Mina climbed out of the narrow passage without danger, but the front is still endless pipeline. A horizontal partition blocked Mina's way. She borrowed the flashlight to check, and then climbed to the top of the partition, where the space is obviously more than in front of the majority of the time. Just as Mina thought that there is no danger, the accident appeared. The partition began to compress upward, which is to be pressed into the rhythm of the Mina meat pie. Mina frantically crawling towards the exit. The last moment she touched the edge of the partition, the arm instantly forced to bring themselves out of the desperate situation, but when just stepped into the new pipe, the bracelet actually appeared. Countdown. Mina does not know what this means, but she is sure that this is not good. As if to confirm her thoughts, the front pipe actually appeared a burnt corpse. Mina bypassed the corpse and went forward again. Before long, an iron door to stop Mina again. And the time on her arm went into a 1-minute countdown. The wall appeared a nozzle, inside the red light seepage. At the same time, the middle of the pipeline even opened an isolation room. Mina rushed to hide in. With the glass door closed, time also returned to 0. The nozzle instantly sprayed out of the blazing flames. The flames swept through the entire passageway. While hiding in the isolation room, Mina was not harmed. The flames extinguished. The glass door opens. The walls slowly move, while Mina pushed into the pipeline once again. At the same time, the wall above the downward compression, leaving only a very small space for Mina. Mina has only one idea, that is to hurry to escape from this hell. Once again on the road, Mina flat on her back and moved forward. Not long after her finger touched the edge of the channel, fingertips touched a puddle of liquid. Mina will be the finger to the front of the nose and smelled to make sure that it is safe to directly begin to drink, but the danger is once again on the way. The Mina's bracelet once again to open. Mina saw directly into the water-filled, super long pipe so that Mina cannot breathe. Dying moment, the exit finally appeared. Mina once again lucky to escape. At this time she has been physically and mentally exhausted, and would like to sleep over. But a strong desire to survive so that Mina once again to fight the spirit of the time. But at this time, Mina actually heard the sound of distress, and there are still people trapped here. Mina accelerated ahead of the crawling, but she didn't get very far. A pool of green liquid blocked her path. Mina tore off a piece of cloth on her body and put it into the pool, and then the pool bubbled and rattled, which turned out to be a pool full of concentrated sulfuric acid, but Mina had to go through. Woman lying on the top of the concentrated sulfuric acid, she carefully moved, because the support point left her not a lot, but in the upcoming to pass here, Mina a slack knee actually fell into the pool. The pain makes Mina collapse and cry, but the distant sound of help let her again fight spirit. Not long, Mina found a hole in the ground, and the cry for help is from the bottom of the sound of the call for help. Mina drilled into the hole and crawled along the pipeline. Finally see the front of the trapped person, but the two were separated by the fence, cannot get close, and coincidentally, Mina found that the opposite person is their ex-husband. The two have an unreconcilable hatred. Suddenly the ARM bracelet began to count down, the nozzle reappeared, and isolation between the middle of the channel. It seems to let the two scramble for the compartment. So when the fence back to the moment they climbed toward the middle at the same time. After that, in order to be able to hide in the isolation room, began to fight. After a fierce physical combat, Mina has the advantage of the ex-husband's hand ring dead stomp. The glass door fell down to cut off the ex-husband's arm. With the end of the time, the nozzle for a split second to turn red, a burst of blazing flames shot out. Mina listened to her ex-husband's screams and drifted off to sleep, and when she woke up again she found that the wall in the corner had opened up a small hole, and then a metal head stretched out, and it slowly closed in on Mina's knee, and in no time at all her wounds were stitched up, and Mina was shocked to the core. Later, Mina found her ex-husband's hand ring hidden under 3 symbols, 2 diamond-shaped middle a fork. Mina thinking at the same time, the front of a rotating fan gradually approaching. Mina saw the situation immediately moved backward, the fan blades of the huge power of the instantly crushed ex-husband's fingers, which if in the body to come to the body of that shall not be into the meat froth. just in this critical moment. Mina finally came to the hole, smoothly dodged a robbery, not waiting for Mina to think. The arm of the time again countdown, Mina continued to crawl forward. But not long, the head actually came from the sound of crawling, followed by not far away from the wall to open, a scorched arm stretched out. This is what monsters? Mina atmosphere do not dare to breathe, with the smallest possible movement forward crawling, but unexpectedly, the bracelet bumped into the floor actually issued a loud noise, which attracted the attention of the monster. It slowly raised its head, and its hideous head locked onto Mina in front of it, who could no longer care less about the noise and crawled quickly towards the front. After passing through a narrow pipe, the monster behind her couldn't come through because of its size. Mina temporarily safe. When she climbed out of this section of the pipeline in front of a fork in the road, she did not know how to choose, then casually climbed into one of the pipeline, in the middle of which she heard the song of her daughter has long been dead. Mina excitedly climbed out of the pipeline, but there is no daughter's figure here, only the four sides of the surrounded by the glass room. The outside seems to be full of fog to see the unreal, however, when the Mina will put her hand on the glass. The magical scene appeared, the deepest memories of her own mind appeared in front of her eyes, Mina's life in the pipeline, and even the image of her daughter's death. The deep wounds were once again torn. Mina broke down and cried, but the cry also led to big trouble. Mina looked up, but it was the monster looking for them. At this time, Mina did not care about her wounds and pain and once again climbed into the pipeline in front of her. Can she escape from the monster's clutches? The woman is trapped in a long pipe, and behind her there are hungry monsters. After shaking off the monster arm, Mina quickly climbed towards the front. When she climbed up a section of sloping pipes, the monster also chased her to the bottom. Mina could only use a faster pace to move forward, but when she looked up, she found that the front was actually blocked by the barbed wire chain, and the end of the pipe was the blue sky. Could this be the exit? Although the time has entered the countdown, Mina is not willing to give up this last hope. She climbed into the layers of chains, moving forward. Body was barbed, cut out a bloody mouth. But Mina did not give up, enduring severe pain through the last chain. At this point she is already at the end of her strength, powerless, paralyzed on the ground, and then difficult to move forward half a point, and behind the monster to see the situation is not right has long been hiding in the isolation room. As time expired, Mina was appointed to lie on the floor, and the tongues of fire approached in an instant, but at that moment, the floor parted and Mina fell in. For a long time Mina woke up from the pain, looked up and actually saw himself with a bracelet scraped out of the imprint, the original circle around a big circle and back to the starting point. Here is like a maze, is not what clues have been forgotten. Mina will be ex-husband arm symbols painted on the wall, staring for a long time, did not think of a way to finally want to give up when the mechanical head reappeared. Want to give Mina treatment, but was pushed away by Mina. Mina do not want to be treated again. The machine seems to see Mina thought. From the mouth out of a tube of poison, just about to hit into the body of Mina, Mina suddenly had a flash of insight. She wiped her hand in the middle of the symbols. Hooray, appeared 6 arrows, which must be the guide to escape. Mina instantly revitalized and no longer resist the machine to give her treatment. After recovering her body, Mina once again stepped into the pipeline. With the previous exploration of Mina naturally know all the organs, all the way to the sulfuric acid pool. Mina will be put into the pool bracelet, unsurprisingly. The strong corrosive so that the bracelet breaks. Mina really also saw the mark on the hand. When she once again went to the fork in the road, look at her wrist markers pointing to the right. She no longer stay to climb into the right side of the pipeline, and soon there is a fork in the road, marking points to the left, so she went all the way towards the exit, but when traveling in the last 2 passages, the monster appeared. A fierce chase drama began, not long after they walked into a magical passage, in which gravity seems to change. The 4 walls take turns to appear gravitational force. Mina was almost captured by the monster, but fortunately still in the last moment to escape. In the end, what is the attraction of the monster? Mina looked at the bracelet and threw it into the left channel. The monster was attracted away by the bracelet. After completely shaking off the monster, Mina came to a strange channel mouth, which was glowing with a strange red light. But when Mina drilled over and found that this place was just like in the intestines of a monster, Mina just wanted to touch the wall. But at this time there was also a commotion on the other side, and it seemed that there were countless monsters outside, which had large palms, and even poked their heads in. Which can be? Mina looked dumbfounded. The next Mina continued to explore towards the front, did not think in the next section of the pipeline found their own bracelet, so she borrowed the light of the bracelet to the last fork in the road. The sign points to the right, but just as she was going to climb up, a ball actually rolled out of the left channel, followed by Mina's dead daughter actually appeared in front of her. See this scene? Mina excited. Bad, let her daughter pulled into the left channel, but just walked 2 steps. Mina suddenly realized. She looked at the glowing bracelet, said to her daughter, "I don't want to lose you, but you're not real." Finished. Mina will leave her daughter crying. When she returned to the left channel again, she finally saw the end of the blue sky, hope in front of her. Suddenly a gate knife fell. The original want to go out but also have to go through 3 gates. Knife, which is not pay attention to, will be chopped in half. But in order to be free, Mina do a good job to fight to the death. She counted the time of the gate knife fell. The first fan is 4 seconds. Mina successfully passed through. The second blade was only 3 seconds. Mina seized the opportunity to narrowly pass through, and the third blade was even more horrible, 2 seconds. But in order to be free, Mina no longer hesitate. However, the blade should fall, and half of Mina's feet will be left in the passageway forever. And despite the pain, Mina was smiling as she thought that she would soon be able to escape from this hellish place. Finally, Mina climbed to the exit, but to one surprise, the blue sky and white clouds in front of them is just a screen, hope after the despair, so Mina is like a deflated ball. The wall of the nozzle also issued a red light again, Mina ready to die, but at this time a white light fell, actually will be lifted up in the air, and so again open your eyes has been to a strange world, and the daughter is sitting across the table, so it seems that this is the beginning of their new life.